Hello, darling viewers, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy, and this time I am reviewing Josie and the Pussycats comics from Archie Comics. These are from, I think, 2017 and 2018, and there are 9 issues total between the 2 volumes. Art and writing is by Marguerite Bennet, Cameron DeOrdio, and Audrey Moak. Sorry if I mispronounced those names. The authors will be down in the description below. Alright, these are part of the revamped Riverdale Archie comics, and they follow the band Josie and the Pussycats, which are like uber famous, really amazing, all-female rock band that have a strong cat theme going on there. So these comics follow an older Josie and the Pussycats. So while the Archie comics and Jughead, they're all like teenagers, Josie and the Pussycats, they're young adults. And there's definitely drinking and sex happening in these comics. So definitely an older audience, but nothing too revealing or graphic is happening in them either. So the main character, Josie, is a musician, and she's been playing these acoustic gigs of her own music in this bar, and it's not really gaining her a whole lot of popularity. Doesn't really have a ton of fans, and it's not going too great. And then she hears about this music contest, but she needs a band to compete in it. So she talks to her roommate Melody, who is super interested in helping the cats because it's music competition benefiting this animal shelter. So Melody is 100% behind helping the animals. So when they find a stray alley cat, they take it to the vet, where they meet Valerie, who is a vet technician. And they find out that she can sing really well. And so the 3 of them make this band for this one night only gig at this contest, at this benefit for the animal shelter, where they're discovered by Alan. And this sets off the band going on this tour, and crazy, super crazy adventures happen. A lot of the story is incredibly unbelievable. Like how fast they go from not being a band together at all to international pop stars, and how quickly they fall into this like best friends group. Like Melody and Josie already knew each other, so that's not too unbelievable, but like Valerie just like falls into this, and it feels like they've been friends forever, which is kind of strange when you think about it. But they are sharing this really crazy adventure together. So the thing about these comics is that they're very episodic. Within one issue, they will have a major threat to the band that's threatening to tear them apart, and Josie also has to learn some very important life lesson where she's gonna have to grow up and become more adult. Usually, it's Valerie who's telling her what the answer should be the whole time, and Melody's just like doing her own thing, talking, breaking the fourth wall all the time. I'm not saying it's not entertaining, because it is, but I'm kind of glad there's only 9 issues, because they're really unbelievable and crazy. Like I'd kind of rather read these series where we watch a band like organically grow together, rather than like all of a sudden they're Josie and the Pussycats and everything's perfect. So their rise to fame happens really quickly. Like their very first gig on the road is playing in this bar where like nobody knows them. But like they play this gig and everybody's like, oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. So like issue 3 is them suddenly having a beach contest. And issue 4 is they're in Rome and they're like international all of a sudden. It happens so quickly and it feels so strange. There's definitely like fun to be had with their crazy adventures where they go everywhere and do everything. And this definitely exists within a comic book world. And they're definitely taking advantage of that, as opposed to like the Archie comics where they're in a normal high school and can't do super crazy stuff. There is a villainous character in Josie's ex-best friend Alexandra and her twin brother Alexander. You know, they're uber rich family, and they have tons and tons of crazy rich people gadgets and can do crazy things like get a giraffe to come to a beach concert. So the fashion and the art in here is really appealing and really interesting, but it's also kind of weird because Josie and the Pussycats writes their own songs, so we have lyrics, but we don't really know what it sounds like. So it was kind of weird to be like, so what do I think that beat is? And is it going to stay the same every time I hear those every time I see the same lyrics, are they still going to sound the same in my head? And then volume 2 is just a continuation of those episodic adventures. They do get kidnapped at one point and taken to an Arctic lair and put on trial for plagiarism, because that's totally a thing. And tons of crazy comedy and pop culture references, like Melody singing Let It Go from Frozen. Crazy stuff. We also see the Riverdale gang, like Archie, Jughead, Betty, Veronica. All of them show up and are their opening act as the band The Archies. So they all go to Japan together and have an interesting experience at this cultural festival. Last 2 issues, while they're in Japan, make up this 2-parter where the band ends up in major trouble and maybe they can end up breaking up and everything falling apart. And it's the final farewell of this series, and so every character that possibly showed up before shows up, and it's really crazy. I mean, there's insane stuff happening in here, like stopping a jewel thief in Rome, or getting kidnapped, or having to fight off a motorcycle gang and drag racing, or competing with a child singer to see who's better, and it's just so weird. It's so weird. They were mostly fun and I kind of enjoyed them, so I gave them the 3 stars, but I wanted something with more depth to them than these had. I mean, there's these friendship lessons. I've been watching too many ponies. There are all these life lessons that Josie has to learn about being an adult and being a respectful human being and working with other people, but they feel kind of forced. And also kind of like, okay, Josie's got another problem where she doesn't know how to act like a human. Kind of, Josie doesn't come off as the best character in these. Melody is a lot of fun, but also she's kind of not always completely sure what's going on around her. And I mean, it doesn't bother her, but like, that's kind of strange. And Valerie's kind of too serious sometimes. Yeah, these were 3 stars, so just They were interesting enough to get through all 9, but like not really what I wanted. I wanted something with more depth. I wanted something more like the Archie comics, where crazy stuff's happening, but like you can kind of see it realistically happening in real life. These, I don't think they're really gonna have a giraffe on a beach party. I don't care how rich Alexandra is. Like, so volume 2 has a bonus issue from Jughead. It is issue 9, where Sabrina the Teenage Witch makes an appearance. I've already reviewed Jughead, so I'm not going to do that again here. But basically, I really like Jughead, and it is way better than Josie and the Pussycats, so bonus points for that. And I love Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And volume 2 has Betty and Veronica Vixens, where Betty and Veronica join a biker gang and fight the patriarchy by actually like fighting. And I didn't like this. It's not a full up issue either. Like, it's just a few pages. I don't want Betty and Veronica to be in a biker gang. Especially Betty. Like, I want Betty to be the sweet hometown girl and Veronica to be the self-absorbed millionaire. Don't want them to be in a 50s biker gang. So there are alternate covers in here also. And there are character sketches in these also. Like how they developed what Melody and Valerie and Josie are going to look like. So these were pretty entertaining, but no, not what I was looking for, basically. So I gave them the 3 stars, but I'm not in love with these. Glad I didn't buy these. It's up to you guys whether or not you want to read Josie and the Pussycats. I also didn't have a lot of like background, like attachment to Josie and the Pussycats. I've seen them in the TV show Riverdale, and I've seen them show up in the Archie comics and Jughead, but like I'm not a huge fan of them. Like, I don't have a ton of attachment to them outside of that. So going into this, I like wasn't already attached to these characters. Peace out. I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye.